Channel 7. This is Viewpoint.
Good morning and welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Joe Parris. I think we've all used the phrase, text me when you get there, or call me when you get there. Sometimes it's a throwaway line to our family and friends. Other times it does hold more anxiety, especially for parents who are watching their kids spread their wings, leaving the nest. But what if you never heard back from your loved one? A loved one who was on an international trip for a brand new adventure. The feeling, it sits with you, and it's kind of that sinking feeling if you imagine it. Your mind races. What happened? Is everything okay? Well, this is a real-life scenario that retired Meridian Mayor Tammy Weerd and her husband Jan, they went through with their entire family. And in a brand new book, the family shares a story about their daughter's journey to Egypt, one that would change everything for the family and test their community with a major challenge. A challenge that none of us could ever imagine navigating, getting a daughter free from prison, held on false charges. The new book, When We Could Not See the Moon, Our Daughter Locked Away in a Foreign Jail, is up for pre-order right now. Amazon is a great place to find it. And joining us this week on Viewpoint, Tammy and Jan Weerd. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys. I'll just start with a disclaimer here. When we talk about the book, just to protect the anonymity and the privacy of some people in the book, the names have been changed a little bit, but everything that's in this brand new book, I imagine everything's true.
Yes.
Did you ever imagine writing something like this? I mean, do you I guess, think that when this situation was going on that you'd be able to sit down on a television program and kind of talk about it one day?
No, we never considered writing a book, and certainly not about a family tragedy like this. But a book resonates with people. You can read it in the privacy of your home. This is a weighty story, but it's also one of hope and faith and perseverance.
Let's talk a little bit about the facts behind the book. What happened, I guess, and what time frame were you guys, I guess, experiencing all of this?
Yes, well, this was in 2021, and our daughter Hanna is an adventurer, an experienced traveler, and she had recently started her new business. And as long as she had a computer and Wi-Fi, she could be anywhere in the world. And she decided to start her new adventure in Egypt. And I know a lot of people think, why Egypt as your first destination? Well, she had a former boyfriend that she had traveled there with, and she just fell in love with the country and the Red Sea.
Oh, yeah.
She was a master diver, and she wanted to go there and reconnect with here. When she was growing up, she was very involved service-wise, and she found a purpose there in helping to save the coral reef and the sandy beaches. So in this expat community, well, she had prepared herself and packed for 12 to 18 months, and she was very an avid health and wellness person, and she had worked for a supplement company in Meridian prior to starting her own business, and really got into their products. And so she had a 12-month supply of supplements in her suitcase, and that was kind of the item that caught the eye of the customs agents. They pulled her aside, and that kind of began our story. Once she was falsely accused and detained, of how to get her free.
Because they thought that she was drug trafficking or she was somehow smuggling something into the country. When this was first described to you, how was it kind of outlined as, here's the situation?
Well, that was probably the big challenge. It wasn't described to us. I mean, there was just silence and silence, and as you alluded to, we never got that text until we finally did 2 days in.
It was from your other daughter?
Yes.
So what was that experience and that exchange like? Because you're hoping to hear from your daughter that's in Egypt. Your other daughter reaches out. Did that immediately, I mean, as a parent, raise a red flag?
Absolutely. We were kind of tiptoeing around each other all weekend because we didn't want to concern the other, but it was weighing so hard in terms that we hadn't heard from her, because she had gotten into a routine of, hey, when you leave, let us know. And she was ready for her new chapter. And then it went silent. We woke up the next morning expecting to see something. We didn't. And as Jan alluded to, it was after midnight Sunday when we should have heard from her first thing Monday or Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. And that text came from Taylor, her youngest sister, the last one who had seen her, and told us, hey, Mom, when you get up in the morning, give me a call. I have an update on Hanna.
And you didn't wait till the morning?
No, are you kidding me? We were so concerned. And certainly sleep was coming hard. And we picked up the phone, called her, and our first task there was to calm our youngest daughter, because she was so anxious.
Because what had happened in the meantime was when Hanna basically got held at that airport at customs, and she was interrogated for like 12 hours.
Wow, 12 hours.
With nothing.
All because of health supplements.
Of health supplements, of gut health, of cranberry powders, and then there was this big bag of powder, which was a health protein fortified pancake mix.
Oh.
And you know, it basically just really, escalated from there. And just before they took her off and basically placed her in a holding cell in a jail, in a dungeon, in a 12-foot by 12-foot space, no daylight.
Wow.
A light was in the ceiling on 24/7 on a concrete floor, no bedding, no blankets, no pillows, no nothing. And she was there anywhere with, 10 to 20 women. And of course, this is all what we learned later. Most nights they had to take turns to actually lay on the ground because there was not enough space to actually lay down.
Wow.
So, but she had just texted before she was taken off to that holding cell, and she texted her friend back in Amsterdam, and she said, "Hey, if you don't hear from me in the next couple of days, call my parents." And so, what had happened then? They didn't hear back from her. And her friend reached out, of course, to her youngest one, who also lives in Amsterdam. And they connected back to her old boyfriend, who was from Egypt. And bless his heart, I mean, they had broken up, they had gone their own paths, but he totally came back in. And so he went out there, used his contacts, and they found some attorney that he didn't quite know, but that wanted to do something, and they were hoping they figured it out in the first couple of days before they had to call us, that this was solved, because it was just all like, hey, this is all one big misunderstanding, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was very hard for them also to get information, and the interesting part of that was the 3-4 friends with our youngest daughter. They turned over basically their entire meager life savings, they're all young people, to hire this attorney on a retainer.
Wow.
So they did all that, and then when our daughter called, or when Tammy, called Taylor, we had to really put our arms, figuratively around her, because she carried all that weight on her shoulders.
Oh yeah.
And so we had to really take care of Taylor and say, hey, just give it to us. We take care of it. You don't worry about it. We're going to all work on this. And that's where this journey started.
At what point did you actually get be on the phone or text with Hanna and say, hey, we know you're alive. Where are you? What's going on? Or did that never come?
No.
No, but Jan, when we woke up Sunday morning and still hadn't heard from her, he sent a WhatsApp and said, hey, have you arrived? Are you okay? Can you just touch base, let us know? And again, no word.
Yeah. So, but basically, it's, it was in Egypt, and rules are different there. Here in the U.S., you know, you can be held for what, 24, 48 hours or something like that, and there has to be a case because you're presumed innocent. There, it's totally opposite. When you get arrested in that kind of a fight, you are guilty unless you prove that you're not. And so here you're in a holding cell, and what we then find out is there were women that were there for 3 months, 6 months, because nobody was fighting on their behalf to prove their innocence.
So they just sat there and wasted away in the cell.
Yeah, wow, that's what's happening, still happening today.
So how long was Hanna, I guess, held in custody, and when did you start to, I guess, get some motion on this? I mean, where do you even start? Do you just start calling senators and, I guess, ambassadors?
Well, and we had a drive home we were up at our cabin in Smith's Ferry, and we were able to really start putting a plan together and who should we call and really what should we be doing. So we did reach out. We have a great Idaho community. One of those big lessons we learned is people want to help. They just need to be asked. And when you reach out, you find help in unexpected ways that someone, like we had, one of the things that we couldn't really get any confirmation was from the embassy that they knew of our daughter's plight. Mm-hmm. And we learned, the only way we learned that, and it was probably 5 days in, is from a friend of mine who had a Navy SEAL friend who had a friend that worked in an embassy in Morocco. Wow. Who then contacted their peers in Cairo and found out that, yes, they did know about it. They had actually even tried to visit her to check on her well-being, and they were turned away.
So that was 5 days in, and really, until that time, it was all hearsay.
Yeah.
You know, because even this attorney we finally had contacted with, that they had hired, that was still, we could barely understand them. There were all kinds of questions around it. Had he even seen her? So until we got that confirmation, via, that was the first time we got official confirmation that where her whereabouts was, and that she was alive. Yeah. Because Joe, before that, we didn't know. We didn't know, is she safe? Did she get hurt? Did she get violated? And your thoughts keep going on and on. That's what we got the confirmation. So that was great, you know, from that end. And yeah, the whole plan started at that time. Right after that, we also got a message. It was a scribbled note on a brown paper bag, and it was actually a note from Hanna. And it was smuggled out of this jail because in where she was at, she could not, there was no contact. Even her attorney, we find out, could not go and visit her there. So, that's how their rules were. So she had a note smuggled out through one of the other women that was released. And that note had gone via that attorney we had, was text to us, and it was this brown little note. And it said, hey, Mom and Dad, don't worry about me. God is telling me that you're doing everything to get me out of here. And it just like, you know, she's spiritual, you know, but... Yeah. And she knows, she went to Sunday school, she worked a lot with her grandmother, Bible study, but she was a kid, a middle schooler. We never heard her talking in those terms. And our beliefs are quite private.
Yeah.
And then she talked about it in that way.
Yeah, she also said, I never understood the power of prayer until now.
We have to take a real quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the power of faith and the power of prayer, as well as how you can get this book. We're going to take a real quick break. You're tuned into Viewpoint.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables.
This is Tony.
Things that I've tried have failed.
And this is Tony's good feet story.
Before my arch supports, I felt defeated, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain, which still is kind of crazy to me. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out. I would recommend it to anyone. You've tried everything that's not working, give it a try.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
The grand opening for the big new showroom at Easy Chair Plus and Mattress is on with more of everything. More lift chairs in every size with many features. More mattresses from budget-friendly to luxury and a great selection of flex head adjustable beds. More recliners, wall huggers, rockers, and swivel gliders. More massage chairs than ever before. Save up to 50% on select massage chairs. There's a free lunch with your new chair or mattress during the new showroom grand opening sale at Easy Chair Plus and Mattress on Eustic Road in Boise.
This is Stephanie's favorite view, where Stephanie becomes Stephanie. This makes Stephanie think ironing is fun. Sometimes. We know Stephanie, so we added this for outfits for gardening, dancing, and closing the deal. That's a smart outfit. This is a smart drawer. Like Stephanie, there's always room for surprises. This is Stephanie's Closet, a space designed by California Closets, a company built on listening to Stephanie and you. Schedule your free design consultation now.
NetCredit is here to say yes, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
However you start your day,
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show.
we're here to help. Wake up, Idaho. Everything you need to start your day in the know. 5 to 7 on KTVB or all morning long on 24/7 and KTVB+.
Welcome back to Viewpoint, continuing our conversation here. Brand new book coming out. We'll show you a look of it right now. This is entitled When We Could Not See the Moon. Mayor Tammy Weerd from the city of Meridian, retired now, and her husband Jan releasing this book next week. We'll talk about it now, and let's talk about this title, When We Could Not See the Moon. It grabs your attention because it's so unique. What is the meaning of the title? How did you come up with it?
Well, the story behind the title is we've always had this connection with our daughter through the moon. From a young child, when I sang, I see the moon sees me. Yeah. And in fact, 2 days before she kind of dropped off the face of the earth, she had called, and she was with her best friend that had just had a baby. And she wanted me to sing this song because it means so much to her. And this is her godchild, and she wanted to share that with them. We've always had this connection. So regardless of where she was traveling, we always had the connection through the moon. We were always looking at the same moon. And that was that connection. Well, when she was imprisoned, she couldn't see the moon, even though the moon was still there. Kind of like faith. You can't see it all the time, but you always know it's there. This is why we felt that this was the appropriate title. Is there are times that you can't see it, but you do know it's there, and you still have faith in it.
And it's such a powerful, emotion too, when you just describe just the title of the book, this concept of Hanna being in a cell in Egypt, looking up at a skylight, knowing the moon's there, but for the first time in her life, restricted from seeing it. When we talk about faith and community, how does that, I guess, really play as a central theme of this? And what are you hoping that the community and people around the world who will read it, what are you hoping they get from it?
Yeah, so how we were able to lean into faith and the strength that we got out of that, basically realizing we're not in this alone. We could share our weight. But we felt so as we went through this, we said, we have to share this, because how many people find themselves in desperate situations? And so we felt, let's just write the story up as it is, make it relatable, and we hope by sharing our experience, how we were leaning into faith, that is something where other people can get their strength out of it, that they get their inspiration out of it, and that it can provide a lifeline at times when they're in the dark.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the book because it's very powerful. We'll say, though, that for anyone wondering, Hanna is safe and she's back home and she's doing well. But when we talk about her journey and everything she's been through and everything you've been through in the community, what sticks out to you still today of the feelings that you hold from that time?
Yes, the feelings of the generosity of our community and stepping up and helping in big ways, and just leaning in and giving it to God, trusting in His guidance. It gives you clarity of mind, and it really helps you to focus on what you need to be doing and the people that He places in your path. We didn't vet them. We just trusted that they were the right people. We may not have even known them, but it was incredible how faith and community really helped lift us up, support us, and find.
Around the world,
Yeah.
what became so clear to us, everybody has good in them and maybe bad. But it felt like there was a greater hand that was leaning into the good of people here in Idaho, but way beyond. People from different faiths, from different languages, different cultures. We ultimately all connected, and yeah, you have to read the book on these crazy things that we ultimately were faced with and people that we had to engage with. But the good guided us, and yes, that ultimately got us to the outcome that we were trying to work so hard for.
Yeah, Joe, we felt we were living in a movie, because some of what happened, we think that this only happens in the movie, but we were living it.
You guys were able to send me an advanced copy, and as I read through it, I talked to some of my coworkers about it. Well, it sounds like Taken. They got to call Liam Neeson. It's this Hollywood-esque style, but you lived it. When you think about, I guess, everything you went through, does it feel more clear, hindsight 2020, at this point about everything you were going through, or did you feel like you had that clarity at the time that this is difficult, but we know we're on a path?
As emotional as it was, it almost seemed like we had more clarity at that time, because we were just so in tune. We had given it to God.
Yes, and we knew He was there on our side. We didn't know about His timing, and we had to learn to be patient, and we had to learn not to take it back, but the confidence that there was a greater force out there working the world, and and it opens your heart and your mind and your eyes to it too, because you see things happening. It's like, where does that come from?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we were dealing with a retired judge in Egypt somewhere, that so many pathways we ultimately came to that person. It's just incredible. And there was a hand that just, guided us, opened doors that we didn't even realize those doors were there.
I know that we are running short for time, so before we do run out of time, I wanted to put up a visual aid here for an event coming up next week, and there's a lot of great things in this book, and if you're interested more, the book launch and signing is coming up on the September 24th. Tell me about this event. What can people expect?
Yeah, we're holding it at one of the newest restaurants in downtown Meridian, and right next to Generations Plaza. It's where my heart and soul is, but we're doing it from 4:30 to 7. You can come, say hello. It's just a drop by, pick up a book, sign it, and we'll be doing remarks, a couple of personal remarks at 6.
Because I would imagine, a lot of folks, of course, we know you as Mayor Tammy, then people wonder, well, what do, elected officials do in retirement? No one would have planned for something like this.
This is not what I had thought would
I'm sure if you imagined writing a book, it wouldn't be about this.
Yeah.
As we do wrap up, though, how do you think your perspective of life in general has changed, or your perceptions of the world have changed going through something, as you highlighted, like a Hollywood script?
Yeah, well, the journey reminded us of the power of human connection. That came in really strong, and how much people wanted to help, and how you just need to rely on your faith and trust in God.
And how connected you are around the world. We're connected here within our communities, but we're not isolated here. We're part of this big, huge world, and people are people. Once you peel the layers away of maybe how they look or how they dress or how they talk, if you peel those layers away, behind that, you see that same pure human being that we all have.
Well, Tammy and Jan Weerd joining us here on Viewpoint this morning. We'll give you one more look at their book here, again entitled When We Could Not See the Moon, coming out next week. You'll be able to find it on Amazon, and of course, if you're local here in Meridian, go join their event coming up at, what's that restaurant called?
Las Calaveras.
Las Calaveras, okay, and in the heart of Meridian, a place that means a lot to the Weerd family. Thank you so much for being here.
And we'll have books there.
And they'll have books
yes.
there too, a gorgeous cover too. And a shout out to real quickly to the ghostwriter that worked with you guys, real quickly.
Oh, she was incredible. She was able to take a 180-page document and raw emotion and put it into a real compelling story that really got our point across.
Well, we do have to step aside, but thank you so much for joining us here on Viewpoint. We'll be right back after a quick break to wrap up our program.
This is what Bill calls home, and this is what Janice calls office. But sometimes it's the guest room. California Closets designed this space with purpose. This is Janice's home office, and Bill's, and the guest room. Schedule your free design consultation now.
Okay, ideas. Where are we going?
I got one.
What about a comedy show?
I've seen you. I've swiped on you. No.
Oh, I got an idea.
I feel hungry.
Let's go.
Whatever your vibe,
Tacos.
Definitely tacos.
Find it in the all-new, all-hybrid Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
Pro-level performance at work and at home. Right now, buy 2 AP300S batteries and get a third AP300S for free. And get a free battery when you buy a BGA 86 battery handheld blower set, a $300 value. Real steel. Find yours.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms. Take action with our Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Try it today for only $14.95, plus get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Hi! Need new glasses? Buy one pair, get one free at VisionWorks. How can you see me squinting? I can't. I'm just telling everyone. Hey!
Buy one pair, get one free for back to school. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Well, thanks again to Jan and Tammy Weerd for joining us here on Viewpoint this morning. Again, their book, When We Could Not See the Moon, coming out next week. That's all the time we have for you on Viewpoint. We will be back with you next Sunday morning. Appreciate your time. Talk to you next time.